So let's look at simplifying chained comparisons. The code on line 3, if you check carefully, is underlined with a squiggly line, which IntelliJ and PyCharm do when they have a suggestion about your code. So if we hover our mouse over that, you can see there it's saying simplified chained comparison. When dealing with numerical values in a condition, you can often replace AND with a simpler comparison. So what I'm going to do is comment that line out, and we're going to make this a bit simpler. So instead what we're going to type is if 16 less than or equal to age less than or equal to 65 colon. So I think that's much easier to understand now because it's obvious that age is in the range of 16 to 65. The condition is the same as the previous one, but it's phrased in a more understandable way. We should still test it though, so I'm going to run the program and repeat the inputs that we've used previously. Alright, so when we ran it previously, we tested a value between 16 and 65. I'll enter 34. That's working okay, we're getting the message printed out. So next, if we run it again, we tested a value less than 16 and a value greater than 65. So I'm going to enter 12 for the first test, and nothing's printed out, which is correct. Run it again. This time I'm going to enter 78. No output again, so that's correct. And the final two tests were to make sure the code works when we enter 16 and 65. So I'm going to do that one at a time. 16 works. 65, that also works. So all right, that's working fine. We could also turn the condition around or use OR instead. As I've said a few times, there's often several ways to get the same result when you're programming. But let's make a change to the program now so that it prints a message when the condition's false. In other words, if age is outside of the range 16 to 65. So I'm going to come up and put an else in there. So else, colon, and on the next line, indented print, parentheses, and in double quotes, I'm going to type enjoy your free time. Like so. Let's also, on line 9, print a row of dashes so that we can tell which block of code has produced which bit of output. So I'm going to type print, parentheses, double quotes, and put a dash in the double quotes, and outside of the double quotes, multiplied by 80. Let's have a go at doing this now using OR instead of AND. So I'm starting on line 11, I'm going to type if age less than 16 or age greater than 65, colon. Then we're going to type print, enjoy your free time, else, print on the next line, parentheses and double quotes, have a good day at work. So now if age is less than 16, we're printing the message enjoy your free time. The code will do the same thing if the other part of the condition is true, if age is greater than 65. Now we're using OR on line 11, which means we'll get that message if either of those conditions is true, as opposed to AND, where they both needed to be true. If neither of them is true, we'll get the message in the else block. So let's run the program. I'm going to enter 16. And you can see we have a good day at work printed twice. Both bits of code are doing the same thing. If you recall when we used and that's the code on line 4, both conditions had to be true. With OR, as you can see on line 11, enjoy your free time will be printed if either condition is true. Generally, one way or the other will be more natural in some situations, and which to use will depend on the context. There is one important difference though that's useful to be aware of. When comparing conditions using AND, Python will stop checking as soon as it finds a condition that is false. When comparing conditions using OR, it'll stop as soon as it finds one that's true. So looking at line 11, if age is less than 16, then Python doesn't have to check to see if it's also greater than 65. This can be very important, and we'll be coming back to that later. For now, it's just something to be aware of. Right, so I'm going to stop the video here, and in the next one, we're going to take a look at Boolean values. See you in the next video.